Good morning and a very warm welcome to Runway. Yesterday, as you'll recall, we had an action-packed game, but as often happens in this game, one person romped ahead, and it was Ted Rhodes, the driving instructor from Leeds in West Yorkshire. Now, Ted, being a driving instructor must have its anxious moments, but I suppose you have to keep very calm while your students are making wallies of themselves. Now, how are you feeling now?
A lot less calm than I would be on a driving lesson.
Really? All right, well, that's understandable under the circumstances. Anyway, let's wish the very best of luck and a warm welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Ted Rhodes. You've already done okay. You've got your 2 bonus prizes. Now you've reached the stage where you could win a holiday, or, as I'm sure you understand all too well, you could also lose a holiday. Anyway, your first destination, as always in the UK, is Pitlochry in Scotland. It's a long weekend for 2 in a baronial hotel, which sounds smashing. All right, so you've got 75 seconds to answer your 3 questions on Scotland, and your takeoff time starts now. Felis sylvestris grampia is found mainly in Scotland, as what is it more familiarly known?
Bluebell?
No, it's a wild cat. Which Scottish soup is made from chicken and leeks?
Cockalika.
Correct. Name the MP for Ayr who became Defence Secretary in 1986.
No, sorry. Pass.
No, George Younger. What is the longest river in Scotland?
Oh, the Clyde?
No, the Tay. What Scottish male singer represented Britain in the 1966 Eurovision Song Contest?
Kenneth McKellar.
Correct. Which city lies between the rivers Dee and Don?
Dee and Don. Glasgow.
No, Aberdeen. Which Spey Valley village has an all-year leisure complex and is a major winter ski resort?
Aviemore.
Correct. Stop the count. All right. Well done, Ted. You've got your 3 questions on Scotland. You've got 30 seconds left, and as you know, at this stage of the game, you've got to make a decision. You can go to Scotland, or you can forego your rights to your Scottish holiday and take a chance on your next possible destination, and it is Venice in Italy. A short break for 2 in one of Venice's top hotels, the Grand Canal and all the rest of it. Your questions will be on the subject of Italy. You've got 30 seconds left. You choose Scotland or gamble on Italy.
Oh, I'll try for Venice.
You'll try for Italy. All right. I wish you the very best of luck, Ted. 30 seconds left. Questions on Italy. Your takeoff time starts now. In an Italian restaurant, what would you expect to be served if you asked for a gelato?
Ice cream.
Correct. Which hero of Italian unification shares his name with a type of biscuit?
Garibaldi.
Correct. On which river does Florence stand?
No, pass.
The Arno. Which popular blue cheese originates from a small town near Milan?
Gorgonzola.
Correct. Stop the count. You've done it. Now then, you've still got another choice to make, of course, with 9 seconds remaining. You can take your holiday in Venice, or you can take a chance on a 2-week holiday exploring the wine routes of Portugal. With 9 seconds left, with questions on Portugal, I should add, with 9 seconds left, which is it to be?
It's not a lot of time, is it?
Not really, no.
And Portugal is one of the few countries in Europe I haven't been to.
Well, I think I shouldn't give you advice,
No,
but quite
I think
honestly,
I
I
might
don't think anybody
settle.
would argue with me at this stage. 9 seconds is a little bit too short for
Cutting
3
it
questions.
fine. I will take the
You're going to
Venice.
go for Venice? All
Thank
right,
you,
your
yes.
decision, Ted. Let's have a brief look at the destination you have won.
You won a long weekend to Venice, the lagoon city ablaze with colour and magnificent churches and palaces so vividly captured by Canaletto. Take a leisurely gondola trip along the Grand Canal. Venice is an experience you won't forget.
I sense, Ted, that you're a bit of a gambler at heart, aren't you? You really were tempted for a second, weren't you?
I did think about it.
Yes, but I honestly think in 9 seconds,
9
I think you'd be
seconds.
pushing it a bit.
Wouldn't be
Anyway,
realistic.
once again, many, many congratulations. You've
Thank
won
you.
2 bonus prizes, you've won your trip to Venice, and of course, you've got your matching set of runway luggage. So many congratulations, ladies and gentlemen, to Ted Rhodes. Let's hope Ted has a fabulous time in Italy, and so let's go straight to the departure gate and meet our 3 new contestants who are waiting to play Runway. Now they're all ready to do battle and maybe win a place on the holiday runway and perhaps go forward and win the holiday of a lifetime. Who knows? Let's meet Justine first. Justine Hayes. She's an article clerk. She lives in Tooting in South London. Now, article clerk being trainee solicitor. I happen to know that solicitors who finish their training and are doing the job are paid much too much, but the article clerks get much too little, don't they?
That's right, yes, definitely.
Not fair,
That's
is it?
absolute
So,
pittance.
in spite of your terrible privation in terms of wages, what sort of holidays do you manage to go on?
Well, the last holiday I went on was a short painting weekend,
Oh, great.
which I really enjoyed. It was for beginners, and I'd really like to go on another one.
Lovely. What sort of things were you painting? Landscape?
Mainly still lifes, but we did a couple of landscapes as well.
Smashing. All right. Well, let's wish Justine the best of luck and move on to Ian Gillespie. He's a vet, comes from Galashiels in Selkirkshire. Now, there's an old saying, isn't there? It's also a book title. It shouldn't happen to a vet. I suspect it's happened to you many times, hasn't it, Ian?
That's correct, yes, many times indeed.
What's the most awful thing, briefly?
Probably the most awful thing was one night, as always happens, just when you're going to bed, the phone rings. A cow with the so-called bed out, which is a prolapse uterus, which is a very dirty, heavy job. Got that, also got a calving at the same time, so went and put the prolapse uterus in, went and did the calving 20 miles away, and filthy, so the farmer asked me, would I like a shower? I said, yes, please, I'd love a shower. And of course, as I was filthy, stepped into the shower, turned on the shower, and 4 o'clock in the morning, it was freezing cold.
Oh, great. Oh, it's no fun being a vet, obviously, but I suppose most of the time it's terrific. I guess, otherwise you wouldn't do it. Let's meet George Thornton, who's a retired civil servant, comes from Redcar in Cleveland. Now, I happen to know amateur drama. I shouldn't say dramatics is your bag, isn't it, George? Now, what sort of things have you done?
Everything from the Dottie King in pantomime to Antony and Cleopatra and Creon in Antigone.
Oh, these are actually quite serious,
Oh, yes.
heavy-duty
Yes, indeed.
parts, are they? You were never tempted to go professional?
No, I couldn't find anybody who daft enough to pay me as much, even as I was getting as a civil servant.
All right, well, let's wish the very best of luck to all three of our new contestants as we take them into the first round, which is the one in which we check their passport details. Yes, it's the passport round. It's the one in which our contestants answer questions about the year they were born. We're going to start with Justine. Before you get to your questions, Justine, as always at this stage of the game, we give the others a chance to win a couple of points by seeing if they can guess the year Justine was born. But here's a little bit of film to see if it works as a clue for you. There you are. Alcatraz closed the year that Justine was born. Ian, what year do you think that was?
1968.
68, says Ian. George?
65.
65, in fact, the year was, Justine?
1963.
1963. So George gets the points, and I think Ian gets a big smile for compliment, and we go on to Justine's questions on the year 1963. Name the United States Navy atomic submarine which sank off Cape Cod in April with the loss of all hands.
I don't know.
No, I can offer it. Buzz in if you want to answer either of the other two. No takers? No, you've got nothing to lose. Have a wild guess if you like, Ian or George. Nope. Okay, I'll tell you the answer. It's Thresher. Next question on 63. On which occasion did John Lennon say, "Those in the cheaper seats clap, the rest of you rattle your jewellery"? What was the occasion in 1963? Time's up. I can offer it. Ian or George? Buzz in. Ian?
Woodstock.
No. George, you want to go?
Royal Command Performance.
It was the Royal Variety Performance. You're quite right. You get 2 points for that. And finally, Justine, on the year 1963, your year of birth, what was the name given to a volcanic island formed off the coast of Iceland after an eruption in November? Oh.
Chelsea?
No, I can't. I can offer it. No takers? Ian?
Sorry, Sepsi.
Say it again.
Sepsi.
Yes, that's right. I'm sorry I couldn't accept your version of it, Justine. Ian gets the 2 points, and we move on to Ian's year of birth. And once again, for the other two contestants, here's your newsreel film. It's a side of English eccentricity I love, don't you? He was rejected 110 times, and he kept coming back. Now then, that man was trying to show his work of art at the Royal Academy in the year Ian was born. George gets the first guess.
1952.
Okay, 52. What do you think, Justine?
1949.
49. And in fact, your year of birth, Ian?
1948.
1948. So Justine gets the points, and here are your questions, Ian. Who was elected President of the United States in November 1948? Time's up. I can offer it, Justine?
Truman.
Is correct. Harry S. Truman, 2 points for that. Next question on 1948. Which Anglo-American poet won the Nobel Prize for Literature? No, I can offer it, George?
T.S. Eliot.
Is correct. 2 points for that. And finally, in 1948, what was established in the United Kingdom on July the 5th?
Sorry, yes, the health service.
Just in the nick of time, I'll let you have it. It was the National Health Service. And we move on to George's year of birth. And again, for the other two, here's your news film. Didn't catch on. Never mind, the trackless train is a lovely novelty idea. That was showing in London and the year that George was born. Justine has the first guess.
1935.
35, what do you think here?
1930.
1930, and in fact, George, the year
Aren't
was...
they nice, eh? 1926.
1926, aren't they nice? Yes, and Ian gets the points for being just that much closer. Now, George, your questions on the year 1926. Who gave the first public demonstration of television in his Soho workshop on January the 27th?
John Logie Baird.
Is correct. 2 points. Who became the first woman to swim the Channel on August the 6th, doing so in a then overall record time of 14 hours, 39 minutes?
Gertie Ederle.
Is correct. And finally, the first British motor racing Grand Prix, which was then known as the RAC Grand Prix, was held on August the 7th over 110 laps and 287 miles. At which famous track?
Brooklands.
Correct. You get your 2 points for that as well. And at this stage of the game, we can take a runway roundup of the score. Justine has 4, Ian has 6 points, and George, with a substantial lead, 12 points. And it's time for the break now, and for a mini quiz for you to play at home. 2 famous people share a year of birth. Joan Collins and Norman Tebbit. I'll tell you in a moment what year that was. Bye. Welcome back. Joan Collins and Norman Tebbit, I said, share a year of birth. Well, that year is in fact 1931. And we go straight into the next round of our game. It's the departure board round, in which we start by giving our contestants the answers. We begin with the highest scorer, that's George. George, your subject is points of the compass, and here are your answers. What name is given to a boxer who leads with his right hand?
Southpaw.
Correct. Which Cheshire town is the centre of the salt industry?
Northwich.
Correct. Which of Brunel's ships was the first steamship to make regular crossings of the Atlantic?
Great Western.
Correct. Who was the manager of Barry McGuigan when he won the WBA featherweight title in 1985?
Mr. Eastwood.
That's right, Barney. Of that ilk, what name was given to the rebellion in 1916 in Dublin?
Easter.
Correct, the Easter Rising. Which Football League club failed to gain re-election in 1978?
Southpaw.
Correct. On which of New Zealand's islands is the city of Auckland?
South.
Wrong.
North.
Yes, take a wild guess. North is right. And finally, your question about West. What to an airman is a Mae West?
It's a life jacket.
Yes, that's correct. So we can give you a score at the end of that, and it is 16 points. Justine's board next. Your subject, Justine, is Australia and New Zealand, and here are your answers. Which Oxford college, known as The House, shares its name with a New Zealand city?
Christchurch.
Correct. Which world-famous opera house was opened in 1973?
Sydney.
Yes. What is the capital of Western Australia?
Melbourne.
Wrong. Guess
Perth.
again. Perth is correct. Which New Zealand city shares a name with the woman who became Nelson's mistress in 1798?
Hamilton.
Yes, Lady Emma. Which city in New Zealand was founded in 1866 and named after the recently deceased British Prime Minister?
Palmerston North.
Is correct. In which city were the Commonwealth Games held in 1982?
Wellington.
Wrong.
Brisbane.
Brisbane is correct. And finally, question about Canterbury. Who was the first Archbishop of Canterbury?
Thomas à Becket.
No, St. Augustine is the correct answer, so your score at the end of that is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 points. Now it's Ian's turn. Your subject, Ian, is birds, and here are your answers. What kind of face does the comedian Freddie Davis have?
Parrot face.
Yes. Which bird's name was given to the lunar module in which man landed on the moon?
Eagle.
Yes, the eagle has landed. The Shah of Persia once occupied this throne.
The peacock throne.
Yes. According to legend, which bird sings only when it's dying?
The swan.
Yes, hence the phrase swan song. This country, which was part of an empire, was once called the sick man of Europe.
Turkey.
Yes. What was the original name of the ship, the Golden Hind?
The pelican.
Correct. Which bird is also called the Solan goose?
The gannet.
Correct. What is the nickname of Norwich City Football Club?
The canaries.
Yep. And finally, Robin and his brothers Barry and Morris formed which famous pop group?
The Gibb brothers. The Bee Gees.
I'll let you have it. That's okay. That gives you a full board, 18 points, a 2-point bonus, 20 points altogether. And we can take a runway roundup of the score at the end of that. Justine has 16 points, Ian has 26, George has 28 points. And as always, I have just 20 questions left for a round which is all about tactics and dirty tricks. 4 points for a correct answer, 4 points to the other 2 for a wrong answer. And this is where the tactics come in. If you answer a question correctly, you can either keep your own points and add them to your own score, or you can stall an opponent. You can knock 4 points off a nominated opponent's score. So it's a pretty vindictive game from time to time. We encourage a little bit of viciousness. Don't forget there are bonus prizes at 40, 50 and 60 points. So thumbs on buzzers, 20 questions in my hand. Here comes the first one. In which year did Concorde make its maiden flight? Ian
1969.
is correct. What will you do with your points?
I take them.
Keep them. Who in 1876 published a system of classification for library... Ian. Time's up. 4 points to the other 2. The full question was classification for library cataloguing, which is still in use today. The correct answer would have been Melvin Dewey, which Ian is now kicking himself for not being able to blurt out in time. Who had a posthumous #1 hit in 1966 with Distant Drums? George.
Jim Reeves.
Is correct. What will you do with your points?
Keep them, please.
Keep them. And that puts George onto a threshold and a prize unless the others can stall him. Which 20th century political movement takes its name from the bound bundles of rods? George.
Fascist.
Is correct. Well interrupted. You'll keep them and you get your bonus prize for reaching 40 points. And, oh, yummy, it's a case of French wine.
Oh.
And it's very good quality too. I checked every bottle myself. Now, next question. What is the name of the motor racing circuit which lies near Little Budworth in Cheshire? George.
Oulton Park.
Is correct. Points?
Keep them, please.
Keep them. Who preceded Matthew Paris as the presenter of ITV's Weekend World programme? George.
Brian Walton.
Is correct.
Keep them, please.
Keep them, and that puts you on your second threshold. There's a prize at 50 points unless the others can stall George. Next question. Who became joint sovereign of Egypt with her brother Ptolemy? Justine.
Cleopatra.
Is correct. What will you do with your points?
I'll stall George.
Stall George. 4 points off his score. Here we go. At which Test cricket ground is there a Warwick Road end? Justine.
Edgbaston.
Wrong. 4 to the others. The answer is Old Trafford. Bad luck. And George is back on his threshold. Prize at 50, don't forget. To which bird family does the hobby belong? Ian.
The falciforms, the birds of prey.
Yes, I will accept it. The word I have on the card is falcon. What will you do with your points?
I'll stall George.
You'll stall George. George goes back to 44 once again, and here comes the next question. In which sport, originated by North American Indians, is the... Ian.
Lacrosse.
Is correct. Well interrupted.
I'll take the points.
Take the points. Fine. 10 questions to go. Which fashion designer took over the House of Dior on... George.
Yves Saint Laurent.
Is correct. Points.
Keep them, please.
Keep them, and you go back on your threshold. Let's hope third time lucky. We'll see what happens. Which part of the body has a crown, a neck? Ian?
Tooth.
Is correct.
I'll stall George.
You'll stall George. Back to 44 for George. Next question. 8 to go. Which planet has its orbit nearest to that of the Earth? Ian?
Venus.
Is correct.
I'll take the points.
Keep them. Fine. Here we go. Next one. 7 to go. Which country singer recorded albums at Folsom and San Quentin? Ian?
Johnny Cash.
Is correct.
I'll take the
And
points.
we'll keep the points, and that's put Ian onto a threshold. There's a prize for Ian unless the others can stall him. 6 to go. What is the capital of the Kingdom of Jordan? Ian? Time's up. I'm sorry. 4 to the others. The answer is Amman. And now George and Ian are both on thresholds, and they're both in line for the prize at 50 points. Now, 5 questions to go. In which year did Channel 4 begin regular transmissions? George?
1982.
Is correct. And I
I'll keep
assume
the
after
points.
all these attempts, you'll get your prize. Well done. We're going through 50, and your prize is smashing. It's a family-size wicker picnic hamper. Well done indeed, and well fought for. 4 questions to go. Name the 14-year-old girl who graduated from Oxford University in July. Justine.
Ruth Lawrence.
Is correct.
Um,
Keep them.
yeah.
Keep the points, okay. 3 to go. Who was the first Roman emperor? Ian.
Augustus.
Is correct.
I'll take the points.
Take the points. 2 to go. Very close game now between George and Ian, 50 and 52 points respectively. What name was given to adherents to the Stuart cause after the abdication, George?
Jacobites.
Is correct.
Keep the point.
Keep the points. And let's put George onto his 3rd threshold. There's a prize at 60 points. Last question. Who wrote the novel Sons and Lovers? Ian.
D.H. Lawrence.
D.H. Lawrence is absolutely correct. You get, I assume, you want to take your points at this stage. But I'm afraid as that was the last question, you only just failed to catch up with George, who is the winner today with 56 points. Well, every inch of that game was as exciting as it could possibly have been, but unfortunate to see losers. Justine and Ian, you gave George a very good run for his money. Commiserations, you get your runway luggage, and our thanks for taking part. George, of course, congratulations. You only just scraped through, but you did it. Well done, and of course you take your place on the holiday runway and maybe win a really super-duper holiday. Let's hope so. We'll see you next time. And of course, we'll see you too, won't we? Next time. Bye-bye.